You may know that the Bartlett Elementary School building celebrates its 90th birthday this year, but did you know that Bartlett Elementary School is actually much older than that? Join us as we take a look back at Bartlett School, past and present. Students first started gathering for school in Bartlett in 1874. At that time, there was no building at all dedicated to student learning in Bartlett. Students gathered for classes with their teacher, Ms. Celestia Bailey, above Sayers Store in downtown Bartlett. 2 years later, in 1876, property on the southwest corner of Hickory and North Avenue was purchased and a new schoolhouse was built. Since it was the only school in Bartlett, it was simply known as Bartlett School. It had 2 rooms, no electricity, no heat, and no indoor plumbing. The school was warmed by wood-burning stoves. Students drank from a water dipper outside, and the bathroom was a 4-seat outhouse in the back. There were 2 holes for boys and 2 holes for girls. Initially, Bartlett School only taught grades 1 through 8, but a 2-year high school program began in 1890. After the 10th grade, students who wanted to continue their education had to go to Elgin for high school. In 1903, Mr. John Erdman was hired as a teacher at Bartlett School. At that time, Bartlett, the city, was growing, and by 1907, the schoolhouse received an addition which added 2 more classrooms. Construction delays caused school to start a week late that fall. At that time, there were 93 students total attending Bartlett School. By 1908, the first automobiles were making their way into Bartlett, and Mr. Erdman, the teacher, was promoted to principal at Bartlett School, where he had an annual operating budget of $410.47 to run the whole school. Despite upgrades like electric lighting and drinking fountains, by 1926, the Cook County Herald noted that the school was in bad condition, unsanitary, unsafe, poorly lighted, and heated, and in such a state as to be a detriment to the community. In response, in April 1928, Bartlett residents passed a $27,000 bond referendum to build a new school, and the original schoolhouse and its land were sold at auction. On January 18, 1929, the new Bartlett School, which we know today, was dedicated. With 4 classrooms, a gym, and indoor plumbing, the building was considered state-of-the-art. In 1938, Emil Struckman was a teacher and the principal at Bartlett School. Active in the PTA, Mr. Struckman suggested at his very first PTA meeting that teachers should play music in their classrooms. Mr. Struckman also voted at a PTA meeting to buy Miss Campfire a hectograph. Hectographs, also known as jellygraphs, were cutting-edge technology that used trays of gelatin to make copies of documents. At that time, Bartlett School had 107 students. The 1950s saw tremendous growth and change for Bartlett School. In 1952, Principal Robert Hart began working at Bartlett. Like principals before him, Mr. Hart was not just the principal, he was also taught 5th and 6th grades. To this day, Principal Hart remains the longest-serving principal in the history of Bartlett Elementary School. He retired in 1986 after 34 years of service. The Bartlett community also voted to join School District U46 in 1952, hoping that the alignment with the more urban school district would improve the quality of educational opportunities for Bartlett children. As members of the new school district, Bartlett School now only taught grades 1 through 6. Kindergartners went to school in the log cabin, and 7th and 8th graders now went to Ellis Middle School in Elgin. This lightened the overcrowding in the school, and the total enrollment was now at 88 students. However, in 5 quick years, enrollment had nearly doubled to 191 students, and the 4-room school was pushed to its limits. Principal Hart was portioning off areas of the gym for classrooms. Therefore, in 1957, the school got its first of 6 eventual expansions, a 9-room addition. The addition cost $230,000. School was a little different in the 1950s for Bartlett kids. There was no bus service, and nearly all students walked to school. Students also walked home for lunch and walked back to school after lunch. The only crossing guard for school was Ed Heinberg, Bartlett's only police officer. He helped kids cross at the corner of Oak and North Avenue. Scouting has always been a popular activity for Bartlett students. In the late 1950s, the Cub Scout moms would play the Girl Scout moms in an annual charity basketball game held in the gym. Scouting and local civic groups continued to have an impact on Bartlett Elementary School in the 1960s. In 1961, the Bartlett Women's Club purchased and planted landscaping to go around the school. And in 1962, the Girl Scouts used $40 from their cookie sales to buy nameplates for all of the Bartlett teacher classrooms. And through it all, Bartlett and Bartlett Elementary School continued to grow, with the second edition added to the school in 1966. With the growth of Bartlett, the community was in desperate need of more space for all students, even those who had moved beyond Bartlett Elementary. U46 responded and built Eastview Junior High School in 1970. After nearly 100 years of having only one school, Bartlett, Illinois now had 2 schools. 10 years later, in 1980, Eastview was converted into an elementary school to ease overcrowding and to keep younger Bartlett students in Bartlett. By 1986, there were over 700 students in Bartlett Elementary School alone, and again, the school district responded to this by putting another addition on the school, followed by another addition in 1990. The 1990s were an exciting time for the city of Bartlett. In 1991, Bartlett celebrated its 100th birthday, and it marked this occasion by opening Centennial School, Bartlett's third school, and by building the gazebo in Bartlett Park. In the 1990s, 6th grade students were allowed to go to Bartlett Park for recess. Look around the school today and you can see how the 1990s impacted Bartlett Elementary. The quilt that hangs in the library was created by students in 1996 to showcase some of their favorite books. In 1998, the PTB purchased a new sign to go in front of the school, but the biggest changes were to come in 1999. In 1999, the school was reaching its highest enrollment numbers ever at over 950 students. In response, the district put its most recent addition on the school by adding the multipurpose room for $1.5 million. Prior to 1999, students ate lunch in their classrooms while their teachers supervised. Hot lunch trays for kids who bought lunch were delivered on wheeled carts to each classroom. The district also expanded the parking lot from 35 parking spots to 92. The Village of Bartlett also did some upgrades on our school in 1999. The village spent $208,000 to create new bus lanes in front of the school, complete with new signage, new streetlights, new park benches, and new garbage cans. By the early 2000s, some of our current teachers were already teaching at our school. Check out some of their recipes for success from the 2006 yearbook. There is a lot to be proud of in recent history, too. In 2013, Superintendent Dr. Torres came to Bartlett Elementary School to help welcome all U46 students back to school.
Today's the first day of school at Bartlett Elementary School, and it's always an exciting day to watch the boys and girls arrive and get off the bus in their brand new clothes. We always open this year with a flag ceremony. We were outside this morning where we raise the flag and say the pledge, but we also greet every new student and every new staff member and applaud for them to make them feel welcome at our school and to welcome them on as Bartlett Bulldogs.
This is Anna. And this is Lily. What I like about the first day is I like going outside for the flag ceremony. My favorite thing is probably meeting my teacher.
Also, in 2013, our current tradition of an annual daddy-daughter dance for Bartlett Elementary girls and their dads started. This year's 6th graders are the first class to experience the dance from kindergarten all the way through 6th grade. In 2015, our new school mascot, Bart, settled in at Bartlett Elementary School. 2016 marked a new playground addition for our school, purchased by the PTB for $15,000, and it marked the start of all-day kindergarten for our youngest students. In 2017, the PTB added benches to our playground setup And the school was awarded a Heritage Township marker from Hanover Township. Only 9 other locations had received this landmark status that recognizes and promotes historic locations within Hanover Township. 2018 brought Bartlett Elementary School a new principal, Mr. John Signater, and in 2019 the community celebrates the 90th birthday of our school building. Although a lot has changed, some things remain the same. In 2019, Bartlett Elementary School is still a great place for kids to learn, make friends, and have fun. But don't just take my word for it. Let's hear from some of our current staff and students to see what they have to say about Bartlett Elementary School.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Dobie, the librarian here at Bartlett Elementary School. I really love this job. I love this school because it's just such a tight-knit group of awesome teachers.
I am proud that Bartlett Elementary has all these students and everybody follows the rules.
Hi, my name is Mr. Osmansky. I've been working here at Bartlett Elementary for 6 years. One thing I do love about working here is that every day is a new day. Being a physical education here, you see all the students, seeing their smiling faces does bring a joy to all of our people.
What's your favorite thing about school?
I like sitting with my friends and I like talking.
What's the best thing about Bartlett Elementary?
I can go first. I really like lunchtime and recess because you kind of get a break from all the hard work you do in class. What about you?
Math, homework, lunch, recess.
It's fun. Bartlett Elementary is a great school. So many kids are here to learn math, arithmetic, whatever you call it, and you get to meet friends and get a.
What do you like most about Bartlett Elementary?
I like art.
You do? Why?
Because you get to do some stuff and you can create some stuff like doll stuff.
What is the best thing about Bartlett Elementary?
Me playing with all my friends and
Meeting all of them.
What do you like best about Bartlett Elementary?
Recess.
Why?
Because it's fun and we get to do fun stuff. Because it's fun and we get to do fun stuff. And we get to play with each other. It's really fun. That's about the same thing.